Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a story that isn't really yours? Like you're living a version of your life that doesn't feel true to who you are? I'm Jan Fishler, happiness coach, and this week I want to encourage you to rewrite the parts of your story that aren't working for you. We all live by a story. If you had a happy childhood with kind, loving, and enlightened parents, you might be one of the chosen few who are living a charmed life. But most of us weren't like that. We weren't raised like that. We weren't that fortunate. And as a result, our narrative includes stories like, I'm not good enough, I always mess things up, success is for other people. It goes on, right? And most of the time, we're unaware of these thoughts, and it's too bad because they guide our decisions, they shape our relationships, and they influence how we see the world. And the problem with our stories is that most of them were written by someone else. Our parents, our teachers, our community, our culture, past trauma for sure. But there's good news, and that is stories, even our tragedies, can be rewritten. So your brain is a natural storyteller. It fills in the blanks, and it gives your life meaning. And whether your story is filled with self-doubt or self-worth, it completely changes how you experience the world. So in psychology, there's something called narrative therapy. And it's based on a simple, but it's kind of a powerful idea that you are not the problem. Your problem is the problem. And what that means is that the things you've gone through, your failures, your heartbreak, your setbacks, they're just experiences, and they don't define who you are. So if you're not happy with your story, you can rewrite a new one where you are the author. So that brings us to, how do you start rewriting your story? There's 3 steps. And the first one is to identify what your current story is. And it usually starts with a negative thought that pops up in your head over and over again. Like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never get a raise, or I'll never find love. So you ask yourself, what's the story I've been living? And write that down. And be honest, and just write it. This is an English class. You don't have to worry about getting it right. You just have to write it down so that you can look at it and actually see it. And this next step is, challenge it. Ask yourself, who gave you that story? Like, where did it come from? And is it really true? Or was it just repeated so often that you believed it? And that's usually the case. And then, number 3, you want to write down the new version. So imagine, who do you want to be? How does that person think? And how do they act? How do they love? How do they grow? Maybe you know somebody that you would like to emulate and be just like them. That's fine too. But start telling that story every day. Speak it, journal it, visualize it, live it. Because when you change your story, you change your identity. And when you change your identity, your life starts to shift. Of course, I'm not saying this is easy. Rewriting your story takes courage, and you will face resistance. Because that little person inside of you who's believed that old story forever is going to resist. And you're going to feel it. And it's going to be up to you to reassure that little child and to let them know that this change is good and that they are loved and they're safe. And that's you being the parent to your own inner child. While you're in this process, you don't have to pretend that everything is perfect. You just have to believe that a better story is possible. And just keep writing and visualizing the new you. And visualizing, best time to do that is when you get into bed at night. Just picture the ideal outcome and who you want to be, who you are becoming. So, if you want to be happier, rewrite your story, if you have to. I mean, you owe that to yourself. And if you don't know where to start, take that next negative thought that pops into your head and turn it into a positive statement. For example, let's say, I'm never going to find love. And then that becomes something like, I'm enjoying life with a partner who loves me, or even better, my life is filled with people who love me. So, if this video resonated with you, share a piece of your news story in the comments. And if you want more content like this, please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Jan Fishler, and this has been your weekly dose of happiness.